So, good morning everybody. Lovely little test we've got now. It's something that's going to make me smile lots. And this is another wonderful model by Fsadni. And it's one of my favourite aircraft of all time, the Avro Vulcan. This is the B2 version. I'm not going to bother taking you around the cockpit, we're just going to go straight outside for an external view. Look at that beauty. I mean, while I appreciate that it's not really a flying wing, this is our sort of version of our flying wing. Very much mostly wing, as you can see. Now, apparently this one's got a bomb in it as well, so that's good. So, the Vulcan. Many years, well, let's just say that when I was a child, I used to lay in my pram, and I remember seeing this aircraft. Now, it might have been when I was in the pram, or it might have been when I was a bit older, like 2 or 3. But I used to lay in the pram in the garden, or be in the garden in summer, and just look up and see this massive thing flying over us, going and making everything shake. It was absolutely amazing. And that's basically because it used to be made and flown from Woodford. They used to fly them out from Woodford near Manchester, and the route that they used to take used to fly over our house. And they used Hartshead Pike as a turning marker. So they fly over our house, and the start of the Pennines is Hartshead Pike, the hills after the Cheshire Plain where Manchester is. But look at that beauty, isn't that wonderful? It's a shame it's early morning because the sun's been a bit weird and isn't shining where I want it to. Typical sun. So let's go into the alternate view. Ah, good old British workmanship. The bomb bay doors don't shut quite properly. If you've ever driven a British car from the 70s, then you'll know exactly what I mean. Anyway, in there's a bomb. So let's try and get a bit of a look at it. There we go, it's a rather large bomb because that's what the Vulcan used to carry. It carried nuclear bombs basically for the Cold War era. And this one looks like it might be one of those nukes. I think it could carry 2 paveway bombs that would type things that were used in the Falklands for destroying the runways on the Falkland Islands. But yeah, it was first flew in 1952. And it went into production in 56, and the last one was made in 65, so roughly 10 years of production. And flew well into the 90s. I think that the last one was this model actually. This is XH558, and it was the last in-service Vulcan to fly. And it was the very last RAF flight of a Vulcan was this aircraft in 1993, and they were retired then. This went into private ownership and flew around doing air displays. It's very sad because it's finally reached its end of service, so it can no longer fly. The wings have gone past their usable life, and the tooling isn't available to make the leading edge and replace bits on the wing, so they can no longer fly it. There are also issues with the engines, I believe, because the skills and the expertise had just gone. They couldn't make bits for the engine anymore. It's not so much that I guess that they could, but I mean tooling up stuff and getting the specs the way they were in the 50s would have been quite difficult, I guess. Modern aircraft are made out of different materials. So yeah, this is Fsadni's version. This is version 1.0. There's no, on the website, there's no version number listed, but according to the configuration text files inside the aircraft's folder, they are major version 1, minor version 0, so I guess that's 1.0. So, made famous in the 80s for the Falklands War and the massive mission they flew where I think it was something ridiculous like 24 Victor tankers the tankers had to refuel the other tankers so they could make the journey all the way down to the Falklands to keep refueling the Vulcan as it went down there. It probably got refueled 4 or 5 times, I imagine, on the way down. Went in, bombed the runways, put holes in the runways to stop them from using the Falkland Islands runways. And obviously the rest of it's history. Go check it out on Wikipedia. It's a very good featured article on the Vulcan, and you obviously follow links there to the Falklands and the stuff it did in the Falklands. So, let's get this beauty here going in a little while. First of all, we'll have a look at the cockpit and see what works, what doesn't work, as usual. And then we'll take her up for a quick fly. Fsadni did say that he didn't make the cockpit realistic-ish because he just made it up out of stuff he already had. So I'm not expecting it to be fully accurate. And then when I get in here, it's pretty damn accurate. That's absolutely amazing. It did have a push-pull yoke. These are in the right place, that's in the right place, these are all sort of in the right place. So, I mean, he says he's not done a very good job. I mean, it's still 8 out of 10, mate. I mean, what on earth? But that's Fsadni. His stuff is pretty good, to be honest. I've not had anything bad from him, ever. It looks like he's used the Boeing bits and pieces for stuff, so we may have to try and remember how to start the Boeings to get this thing going up in the air. It's going to be interesting. So let's have a look what works, what doesn't. Yeah, so none of that seems to work. They're obviously not working. Lights work. Okay, landing gear works. Air vents. I mean, what? Okay, so that's the engines. Ah, the battery. Okay, well, let's just get that on. Oh, we've got external. Okay, let's go external. Yeah, that's everything on.
Manchester ground BOZ1 with mic request taxi for takeoff touch and go.
BOZ1 taxi 2 and hold short of
BOZ.
runway 05 right via taxiway golf.
I think you'll find, sir, it's a Z.
2 tree right, Hotel Zulu Victor Uniform Victor Victor Delta, cross runway, 2 tree left, Whiskey Yankee.
Manchester Airport information.
Taxiing hold short runway 05 right using taxiway golf Juliet Hotel cross runway 2 tree right Hotel Zulu Victor Uniform Victor Victor Delta cross runway 2 tree left Whiskey Yankee BOZ1.
Bloody BOZ. Oh, down is on, okay. That's... Does that mean that's on or off? How strange. Okay, so in this case, up is on. Oh, okay, that's the doors. Ah, I see. Let's not drop that bomb, we may kill ourselves. Okay, so we're ready to try and start her up. So we've got the power on, we're using external power. Let's try and make sure everything's on correctly. Let's switch these to auto. Get the alignments on. Ah no, let's set the fuel first, I guess. So the fuel appears to be all on. Main fuel switches are now on. So we got a good start. Oh, looks like we're getting a bit of fog. I'm going to fly from Manchester Airport, so I've turned off all the traffic because it's pretty busy. And little confession, I did make a video of this yesterday, but unfortunately all the audio was corrupted, so I had to redo it. So it won't be as thrilling as yesterday when I smashed it into the ground. But at least we should get a flight out of it. So it looks like the engines are up and running. Idling at 20%, which seems quite high. Switch off the APU, switch that to auto. Foot brakes on. Interesting, not sure what that's doing.
Manchester ground VOZ-1 requesting pushback.
VOZ-1 pushback request accepted.
Okay, so because of what's been used to model it inside, it's probably a 787, so the nose wheel of the 787 is quite a bit further forwards, I guess.
Manchester ground VOZ-1 requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the right.
VOZ-1, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
It's not going very right, is it?
Manchester ground VOZ-1 requesting the end of pushback.
VOZ-1 request to end pushback received.
Oh, the other thing to note is that you're not in one of the seats, you're between the seats for some reason. It is a little bit wobbly on taxi. I mean, we're not going very fast. But I guess it's because it's a small aircraft model from a larger one. Well, not modelled from, but using the larger aircraft. Oh, we've got an MFD down there. I didn't notice that before. Let's just have a look at that. Okay. I see. Very interesting. That's very good. I had not noticed that in the slightest bit. That's very bad of me to not notice that. Wow, okay, so we do have autopilot. We aren't going to need it for this, we're just going to do a circuit.
ready at runway 05 right touch and go.
COZ 1 QNH 29er decimal 29er wind 061 at 4. Left touch and go approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 05 right.
Hey, this is 05 left, isn't it? I'm confused now. I thought we just crossed 05 right. Oh, no, this is... No, I'm being stupid. I've no idea which way we're pointing.
Acknowledge last transmission.
Cleared for takeoff runway 05 right, BOZ1.
No, this is... Yeah, stupid me. We're 24 left and right, we were at the wrong end. Rookie mistake. Technically, the old bird was only cleared for VFR, so we shouldn't really be up in this fog. It's, yeah, clouds are a bit low, so it's going to be a bit dodgy. Trying to stick around 2.5 to 3,000. So let's try and land. This is going to be a bit freaky. Yeah, this is not going to go well. Yeah, that didn't slow down enough, did I? Jesus. Yeah, another big explosion. So the biggest problem is that you can't see out the front at all. The angle of attack is so high that even in normal level flight, you can't see the ground. So when you're coming into land, it's just absolutely ridiculous, and there's no way to slow it down. It's just such a fast little bird. When you're on descent, it just speeds up massively. It must have been horrendous to land in real life, especially if you're in low visibility conditions. But I'm sure if a couple of attempts, I'll get the hang of it. It is wonderful to fly it. I love it. It's just marvellous. Thank you, Mr. Adney. 10 out of 10. I just can't give it anything less, I'm afraid.